खेल शुरू हो गया है क्योंकि अब तुम लोगों का बाप इन्वॉल्व हुआ है, रुद्र।
Hey everybody, and welcome to World Cinema Breakdown. And as usual, I'm with Gersh Raheja, and like I said, thank you for joining me today at WCB. Before I get into today's video, I wanted to take a moment to thank everyone again for getting me past 200 subscribers, and I'm currently on the road to 250, so please help me get there as soon as possible by clicking that red icon to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And while you're at that, might as well click the bell icon so that every time I drop a new video, you're updated. But let's dive into this video. Well, today we'll be looking at the trailer for a new Disney Hotstar special show called Rudra, The Edge of Darkness. And I'm excited for this because of the fact that the main star in this show is actually Ajay Devgn. And he's probably at this point the biggest quote-unquote star in terms of fame who's doing a web series. Obviously, we've seen other people like Nawazuddin Siddiqui or Saif Ali Khan, or Manoj Bajpayee, or just a couple other people, Abhishek Bachchan, and a few others. But I think at this point, it's safe to say that Ajay Devgn is probably the biggest star to have done a web series. And I do know that Shahid Kapoor is also going to have one pretty soon. But at least of the ones that are out already or just about to come out, he's definitely the biggest. And if he's making a debut in web series world, this is probably going to be a good script. But I do have a lot of questions and concerns because just like many of the shows we've seen recently in India that are coming out on these platforms like Netflix or Hotstar, a lot of them end up being about cops or solving a crime. So I hope there's something unique about this. But I do believe that this is meant to be a little more gritty and darker. But for now, let's just watch the trailer and then we'll dive a little bit more into it after that. Let's go ahead and start.
मैंने सुना डबल मर्डर से कम बैक किया।
ट्रिपल मर्डर।
Triple.
भी था।
The music reminds me a lot of the movie Talash. So does the vibe I'm getting.
खेल शुरू हो गया है क्योंकि अब तुम लोगों का बाप इन्वॉल्व हुआ
I
है।
can't tell if the show is going to be about one crime, one mystery that we're solving, or if it's going to be multiple cases because I see so many faces. That blood. Oh, I've seen her before. Clearly he's having issues in his personal life. Isha Deol, okay. I didn't know she was in the show.
पूरा सिस्टम ही जुमलों पे चल रहा है बॉस। मेरी शादी क्या चीज़ है? Are you sleeping with him?
Yeah, it seems like there'll be a lot of different crimes or a lot of different cases he's solving because I've seen so many different type of murderers already or different type of criminals. Oh God.
क्रूएल रुद्र। करना पड़ता है बॉस।
कई बार कपल्स जो साथ नहीं सोते उनकी मैरिज बेहतर होती है।
पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस या कोई ऐप?
सुना है सर।
मतलब शादी नहीं है।
I'm so confused about the vibe I'm getting because there's so many different things we've seen jam-packed into this trailer so far. So a lot about his personal life.
तोड़फोड़।
Hotstar Specials presents Rudra, The Edge of Darkness, coming soon. Disney Plus Hotstar.
Okay, well, The Edge of Darkness, huh? Well, I think we're probably going to see a bit of a gritty character because I think that's probably the one thing that's pretty emphasized in this show so far, especially because of the subtitle, The Edge of Darkness, because I think, especially the name Rudra is actually, he's an avatar of Lord Shiva. And I believe Rudra, well, it has many meanings depending on, what link or where you look up online, but I think a lot of the meanings end up being the destroyer of evil or somebody who wards off evil. So I think it's pretty fitting because Ajay Devgn's character is obviously going to be some sort of a cop or some sort of an intelligence agency type of thing. Also, it did give me a lot of vibes of the movie Talash. I know it has nothing to do with it, but The music was very similar, and so were the scenes. They were very dark and gritty, and there weren't a lot of daytime scenes if you noticed. I mean, of course there were a few, but I'm saying the color choices, the scene, like the way the camera angles were done, it was a lot of, subtle but dark stuff. But one thing that I do want to point out, which is probably very important, is the fact that this show is actually an adaptation of a British show called Luther. And Luther is actually starred by Idris Elba. And I'm a big fan of Idris Elba. And as a matter of fact, I did a video a few days ago about the Suicide Squad, and he was one of the main stars in it. So if you want to check out that video, please take a look at the link in the description. But moving on from that, Luther is a successful show in Britain, and it already has 5 seasons. And as a matter of fact, it's so successful that a lot of people have already made adaptations on it. I believe there's a Korean adaptation, there's a French adaptation, a Russian adaptation, and then of course this one now, the Indian adaptation. So that's already something that's been done multiple times. So I really hope that in the future we get to see a lot more original stories and not just remaking things that are successful or just quote unquote adaptations of things that are successful, because India has such a big population and there's a lot of creative minds there. So we should be seeing a lot more original stories, but oftentimes I'm seeing stories that are successful in either Korea or the US or just somewhere like that, and then they just remake it in India, or oftentimes it's based on a book that's already successful. So I hope we see a lot more original content. But moving on from the adaptation side of things, let's talk about my expectations for the show. The expectations are obviously going to be high because a lot of stuff that Hotstar has been doing lately has been high quality, and they're producing content at a high rate. But my biggest concern is the fact that this is yet another cop show. Another show about a policeman or some sort of an intelligence agency or some sort of fighting crime or solving crime. Now, let me list out all the shows that I've seen and the Hindi shows that I've seen on OTT platforms that are about this topic or revolving around this that I myself have seen. Ready for this? Sacred Games, Patal Lok, Mirzapur, Special Ops, Family Man, Jam Tara, Breathe, Breathe into the Shadows, Delhi Crime, Bard of Blood. I just listed out 10 shows. Can you believe that? 10 shows that are about a cop solving a crime or something to do with crime. So I just really hope that this is able to set itself apart from all those shows, because I don't want to keep seeing the same thing again and again. It's really hard to make that same concept different, so I wonder how they're going to do it. And the final concern I had is the trailer had a lot of shots about his personal life and probably some kind of an affair or just, his relationship not going well. I hope that that's there in the show, but I hope it's not a big part of the show, because I want to see a good story. I don't want to see unnecessary scenes of him having an affair or just issues like that, which is fine, which happens. But I want to see some unique stories and unique crimes that he's solving. But all in all, it does look interesting. I'm not going to sit here and say that it doesn't look interesting. I'm just curious as to how it's going to be different. And the only way to find that out is wait for the show, because at the moment I don't believe there's a drop date. There's no release date at the moment, but it will be coming out this year in 2022. And the fact that it's Ajay Devgn and it's a Hotstar show, I'm sure the script itself is probably good and the story is really good as well. So I'm excited for that. And until then, please continue watching my videos. And thank you for tuning in today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Peace.